Peace. Welcome back. So the other night at practice, that softball practice with my daughter, we had to have an impromptu practice because a couple of days following we had rain and we got games coming up as our season opener. And I got a couple of new additions. However, I'm at practice and I'm trying to get it going. Now, we had to go from one field to the next. So Peaches, my daughter, everybody knows, she jumped in the back of the truck, just like a little trek down the parking lot. So in the back, I'm looking at her through the rearview mirror, and she back there crying and rocking and holding herself. I'm like, baby, what's wrong with you? I scraped my knee. I said, okay, baby, it's just a scrape. It's gonna be all right. So I'm taking the equipment up to the field, and she's just like very dramatic, like her brother Quentin, leaning, limping, acting like she can't bend it and run, wanting attention. So this was kind of onsetting, and it kind of just set her attitude for the whole practice for the day, right? As practice goes on, I'm giving the girls instruction. Now, everybody's on board. Everybody's in line. Everybody's performing well except her. Now, my daughter has great potential. And I'll say this. I'm going to always be forever grateful for the cluster director that when we first brought her to softball, she saw the value in her to put her with 8U instead of 6U. So my daughter literally has been playing 8U ball since she had just turned 6 coming from 5. As well as Mac 11, another girl on our team, and Jade. These girls started young, but Peach has been playing at U for a very long time as a young girl. And I didn't really understand, the impact of it. However, she's pretty much accustomed now. She would be considered one of our veteran ball players on the team. But at every single practice, this girl gives me attitude. She does things on purpose to get my attention. She asks questions that are unnecessary. If I compliment another girl, she come up and ask me, Daddy, or Coach, how did I do? And I always have to tell her that she's doing good and that she's Daddy's favorite. Even when we have talks at home, but when we get out there on that field, it's a battle. And even the last couple of years, her first coach, and I told Coach T and her husband, when we come to practice, Autumn is your daughter. I could tell my daughter, hey, good job. She'll stand there and frown at me. But then when Coach T and her husband say something, she's like smiling and cheesing, right? But anyway, this thing came to a head the other night, and I just kind of exploded on my daughter, which I shouldn't have. And I'm standing there watching her. She's playing with dirt, and she's doing this because she wants the attention, and I can't stand it. I always say I don't like women. Women who like attention turn me off, even in the form of my own daughter. It's just unnecessary. I don't want my daughter to feel like she has to have attention to validate her human existence, right? Which attention is not bad. We all want attention. We all want to be acknowledged. It's not a bad thing. So I sat her in the dugout. I said, well, go sit in the dugout. Now, being the Leo baby that she is, and I'm very familiar with Leos. I know how Leos are. I have a Leo brother. My son's mother's a Leo. I know Leos, right? All I heard from the dugout was, Coach. She wasn't going to give up. Yes. What do you want, Autumn? Can I come back to practice? Only if you're going to get your stuff together. Now, I admire that she wanted to come back to practice and that she was resilient enough to come back to practice. But afterwards, I got in the huddle and I got the girls together and we always do our chant, and she still was on one. So I had to find it in me to make peace. And she was the last one up to the plate to bat for practice, and she wasn't making contact. So after her third swing, I just called practice. I was done. I was frustrated. So after we let practice go, I packed up the equipment. I'm walking down to my truck. And all I can see is these little choppy legs running and an Afro puff silhouette in the dark. You know how it is when them little baby girls be running so fast. They be looking all choppy. And I'm like, here she come. And we're standing in the parking lot under the parking lot light. And she's got tears coming down her eyes. And she's like, why are you mad at me? I said, I'm not really necessarily mad at you, but I'm disappointed in you. I said, as intelligent as you are, as smart as you are, with the team leadership that you have, naturally, that mommy or daddy has not taught you to have, I'm disappointed in your behavior. I've long told you, when we come out here, we come to take care of business. This is not daddy and daughter time, even though it is daddy and daughter time. But when we out here, I'm everybody's daddy on this field when they come inside this fence. I coach everybody, not just you. I need you to ship it and get in shape. I said the young lady on your team who came back to the team that wanted to play with you, I said she's working out with her father each and every day, and she's getting better with pitching and hitting, and it showed. And I encouraged and I praised her, but she wanted the same. I said, I cannot give you the same because you don't want to put in the work. I'm not going to force you like I did her older siblings. If I ask you, hey, let's go work on catching, I want to play Roblox. Hey, let's go out here and work on hitting. I want to play Roblox. So if you don't put in the work when it comes to practice, this ain't something you could just step on the field and do. And people need to understand that in your respective sports. Respect the game. Don't think that you could just come on there. Long gone are the days of athletes being that good where they could turn it off and on. The only person I was told that was able to do that was Michael Jordan. But we don't have Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. There are no more Michael Jordans. You understand? And I understand what the LeBrons, the Kobe's, but these guys all had work ethics, right? Side note. So when I told her, listen, at that moment, I really wanted to rip into her and just my anger. But I was like, you know what? This is a little girl who is crazy by her father, who loves her dad, who just wants to be acknowledged and praised at all times. And she wants to do good. The simple fact that my daughter ran to my truck rather than just copped an attitude to stay with her mother. And I'm pretty sure with the mother that she has, because we co-parent so well, sometimes it blows people's mind how well we get along and co-parent. I'm pretty sure her mama probably told her, look, I'll pack the rest of your equipment. You go down there and talk to your daddy. And that's all I saw. And I had to show her grace, mercy, love, and kindness and let her know that she is beautiful, she is intelligent, and I'm proud of her. But when we come to practice, I need you to make me a proud father by doing the things that I ask you to do. You don't need the attention. You want my attention, you go out there and perform. Now, when we walk away from this field, I'm your father for the rest of your life. And being a coach daddy or daddy coach, and I've coached all of my children, right? I know what they all bring to the table. I know the weaknesses. I know who can perform in front of a big crowd, and I know who can't. You understand? So with that being said, when I was a younger father, I was fiery, feisty, hot. You're going to play ball. You're going to work out. We going to go out here and do this. I don't give a damn how you feel. But with this younger one being 51 years old and not 21 years old, I have a whole nother approach, and I'm a whole lot softer. I remember last year, my family came to town. My children surprised me on my 50th birthday, and they came to town during our game, and it just absolutely touched my heart. But my older children, her brother, her sister kind of stood back and looked at the interaction. They just shook their head and laughed, be like, Dad, she has no idea. I said, no, she does not. And I had to apologize to my older children for how I treated them coming up with sports, because I was that guy. I can honestly tell you today and confess that I was a toxic sports dad, only with my children, not with coaches, right? I was toxic with them and how I made them feel in our personal spaces. Now, I can honestly say, as long as I've been a sports dad, I have never, ever, ever, ever taken issue with a coach. I've never come at a coach wrong, because I feel like if there was an issue, we're going to fix it between me and my child. Now, if the issue is fixed and I feel like my child deserves a fair chance, then me and the coach will have a conversation, and my conversation is going to be nothing but questions. And once he answers my questions, I will then soon make a decision that is wise, logical, and profound, not any emotions. But with them, I was hardcore, especially with Q, you know what I mean, and Snoop. But I will always say this, the most proudest day of my life as a coach was the day I played in the summer league over there on Flash Hills Parkway, Travelers Rest Church. Everybody knows Mitch League. Mitch has a great league, competitive league. A lot of kids you see today that are in college coming out of Georgia or in the NBA, they've all played in that league. Everybody's graced that league at one point or another. But I remember in the summer league, I had to coach my team, and my son was in town. And at that time, I put my own team in it. We played these guys called the Crossover Kings. The gym saw that I had to play my daughter. I had both my boys, my daughter, my son's best friend, Ben, and his cousin who was currently visiting Chicago. And when I tell you that was the greatest day of my life as a coach, more than any game I've ever coached, no pun, any kid that I've ever coached, basketball, softball, no pun, but that was the greatest day. You know why? Because this team, the Crossover Kings, I believe they were out of McDonough, Georgia, something like that. They had height, they had guards. Now, mind you, everybody looked and laughed, and the gym emptied out. By halftime, the gym was packed on the floor and on the upper level where the track is. If you ever been to Travelers Rest Gym, you know what I'm talking about. And anybody can verify what I'm telling you. The gym was packed because at halftime, we had a 20-point lead. Because you know what? My boys, my daughter, and my son's best friend put on a show like you've never seen before. And that's the greatest day that I will ever experience as a coach. So when it comes to this little one, she's the last. She's the baby of the pack. I'm a little bit different with her. It was her that said, Daddy, I want to play ball. I said, okay. And I took her outside to see if she was serious, and she was serious. But now, like most men, most fathers, we don't want to coach. We just want to sit back, support our child, and cheer them on. Obviously, my destiny would have me coaching. And if you're a coach, people can tell you're a coach. People look at you, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, hey, you look like you. And you know what? I got thrown to coaching. But the best year was the years where I was not coaching. I was the assistant coach, and I never crossed out the head coach. But when I became her coach, anybody that knows me, I take it very seriously. I invest in these girls, and I want to see them develop young. I don't care about winning at an early age. But sometimes, as being a daddy coach, you have to know how to have the balance between your child, the organization, and other players. I see a lot of men and women get it wrong. I've seen daddy ball. I've seen mama ball. It will never help your child get better. People will tell you they've seen me and her mama be savage with her out there on that field, whether we had to discipline her or whether I had to tell my daughter in practice, hey, you got to go to the outfield because you're just not a better second baseman than your teammate. And, it's hard to listen to your daughter cry. And she calls you on the phone, Daddy, I want a second base back. How do I get second base back? Well, you have to earn it. So tomorrow or next time at practice, we're going to have a ground ball hit off, and whoever makes the most plays gets the position. And she came resilient, and she won it back. But as a father coach, we got to make sure we have the balance as being a father and a coach. And a lot of guys and women that I see make a lot of mistakes. In my opinion, every relationship is set up. Some kids you can coach hard, some kids you can't. With this little one, I know she's sensitive and very emotional, so I have to be very delicate and watch how I step. But later that night when I got home, I began to get emotional. Because bigger and beyond sports, all I saw and recognized was my baby really loves me. And it's cute because she's so jealous. She's so territorial. Even when we go back home to St. Louis and we're around her older siblings, my dad, no baby, I'm all y'all dad. She clings to me close, and I realize like I'm all of y'all father. And it's cute, but ain't nothing like a relationship between a father and a daughter. So this platform is for men, for us to be better fathers, self-examination, self-realization, to be the best men that we could be, to be fathers. And the reason why I say father, because this is the most important role any man, no matter ethnicity, race, creed, religion, this is the most important role that a man is going to play. When you see these troubled teens and the youth out here in these streets, and you look at these troubled youth, you can always link it back to a man missing in their childhood years. A lot of problems in our community. The missing link is the black man not being present with his children. And a lot of times you have to understand how white supremacy works. Neely Fuller has the greatest quote, and I say this over and over again. If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, and everything else that you think you understand will only confuse you. And our people are highest confused. I can tell you right now, even if a black man is lackluster in his position as a father, naturally, inside, internally, spiritually, mentally, he knows he's doing wrong. He knows in his essence he's dropping the ball. I don't know. I don't hang with bums. I don't hang with guys who don't take care of their children. But if I could say I've met too many deadbeat fathers. They exist. Just because you don't see the father around don't mean he's a deadbeat. Because you don't know the bullshit that these mothers be on. There's an old African proverb. As long as the hunter tells the story, the lion gets no glory. So while you think he's a deadbeat and not around, you simply don't know what's going on between that father and that mother. I can guarantee you that father is trying to see that child. And then a lot of women be like, well, you need to fight to get custody of your child. You need to fight to see your child. Fuck you. That's why Terry Tate came up with that song years ago, Babies Making Babies. Why would you take a man through that kind of protocol if you're an adult woman, if you're strong and independent of the system? And you would take a man through that. Then you wonder when that child gets older, they're bucking and they lashing on you. But I'm going to tell you right now, my son is experiencing the truth. And it's kind of sad, the position he takes. Because he ain't too crazy about mama. A lot of these children out here ain't crazy about mama. When these kids get old and they find out the truth and daddy got receipts, they ain't too crazy about mama. I think I had a moment. I did. But man, fathers, if you're a coach, make sure you have that healthy balance. Make sure that you know that child loves you before y'all go to practice. Because if your girl is like mine, and they more than likely are, if you're a coach and you're a father, that little girl loves you, make sure you create the balance. And tell that girl how good she is, how beautiful she is, how smart she is at the house, right before practice, after practice. Because I'm telling you, man, that daughter of mine, she play for keeps. God forbid one of them girls run up on me. Hey, thank you, coach, to give me a hug. And Peaches might come charging like a bull. Anyway, I ain't gonna say all that. But I just think it's a beautiful thing. And that's an experiment I had the other night that really just inspired this show. And that she knows that I'm never dad in practice. I'm always coach. Hey, listen, man, if you're a father that have coached your child, man, or had the joy of coaching your children, man, put it down there. Let me know how you feel about it, man. Put it down there in the comment section. Let me know your experience, man. Let's talk about it. Have a great dialogue, because there's a lot that we can learn from each other as men who are coaches and who have coached our own children. And I know my kids are looking at this like, boy, daddy. I'm sorry, y'all. Daddy was toxic and young, but hey, you got to college, right? Hey, y'all can ball, right? Give OG some props, man. This is the place where we bring safety back to the everyday hardworking men and women who impact your life within close proximity. We want to rise above this madness, which is called black culture. And I know y'all keep telling me to stop saying it. I am not going to say that because until you read that book, and I can't pull my book up because until y'all read that book. Yeah, let me go ahead and do this right quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Always stay strapped. Until y'all read this book, bruh, I'm not going to stop saying it. I'm not going to stop saying it. You need to read this book, because this book got a lot of jewels in it. Other than that, man, I love FN. FN has the best. They shoot like toy guns. Anyway, I'm about to get my boy on here. We're going to do a show on guns, man. So a lot of y'all be thinking y'all know guns. And I be listening to a lot of y'all in the gym. I really seriously doubt y'all couldn't hit the ass on the bull if you was 3 feet away. I know you couldn't talk about how good of a shooter he is. Anyway, listen, the biggest mistake that you can make in life is to think that you have time. Make it right today. Tell somebody you love them today. Hug somebody. Call somebody in. Talk to in a while. Go see somebody and see in a while. Do something nice for somebody. That elderly lady up the street, you know her family don't even come see her children. Go cut her grass. And the universe will pay it forward. Until next time, and listen, oh yeah, congratulations to Grayson, the G. 7-8 champs, boys and girls. History, a sweep. Congratulations. And Coach Pierce, bro, you deserve it. You deserve it. Me and Q talked last night, and I know Coach Pierce may not even see this show. But we talked last night, and he said you deserved it. And I remember, man, you a coach for dogs. Not everybody can coach dogs and talent. But you've always been that dude, and congratulations, and I salute and I honor you, Coach Pierce, and to the head coach of the girls. I'm telling y'all, everybody be getting mad at me because I talk about Grayson. Listen, we that school, and listen, Grayson gonna always be in our heart. If you had a kid to come through Grayson, you bleed green for life. You bleed green for life. Go out to Loganville, Georgia, to drive to that school property. The name of the street is Champions Way, because Loganville, Georgia, is Championship City, USA. Other than that, man, y'all be easy and tap in tonight for the show, Sexual Trauma Bond Part 2 with Dr. Lex Harrius. Man, we going in the secrets in all black families. Peace.
Equality versus equity. Equality means every child gets a pair of shoes. Equity means every child gets a pair of shoes that fit. That means every school district has to meet every student's individual needs.
I'm Jerry O'Green with the Black Student Advocate. We advocate for black employees and black students within the K-12 school districts. We hold school districts accountable to make sure that black students and employees are in a fair and equitable workplace.